Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our third week of Go Green with GiveHealthy.store. We have a special speaker today. Chelsea Newman is our senior account manager, and she has amazing tips for social media, marketing. She is wonderful to work with. If you haven't worked with her already, please set up a meeting with her or talk to one of us because she is amazing at what she does. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass it to her, and she's got some next level marketing tips for you today.
Thank you so much, Courtney, and thank you everyone for being here. It's a pleasure to be with you. Courtney, thank you for the introduction. Just to give you guys a little bit more of context, I am a clinician and I've been in the industry for over 14 years now. So I launched my first digital practice in 2014, and it's just been an absolute pleasure for me to be able to help practitioners do the same and gain a little bit of time freedom and create a really nice residual income. So we'll be talking about some marketing strategies as we go through here, and I'll actually be demoing some things that you all can do in your stores that are really easy and really big needle movers when it comes to sales. So please feel free to reach out in the chat, give a question here and there, and I'll open it up at the end. You know, there's a lot of different ways that you can go about this. We want you to have fun with it. So I'll be diving into some really high level things, but I'll also be diving into some real basics as well. So first of all, I wanted to talk about setting your store up for success. I know that you guys have been a part of this webinar series, Go Green with Tracy Strout, and she's gone ahead and shown you some really nice ways to drive people to your stores. So I always say that our job is to be the flypaper for you. So we build you a virtual store. The world used to be a giant shopping mall, and now it really is that you've got this online e-commerce experience. So what we've created is the storefront. You get to do the window display. We've created your shelves for you, your checkout. We've staffed the whole entire store. Your job is to go into our virtual storeroom and decide what you want on your shelves and decide how you want to talk about it. And one of the big needle movers we have here is bundles. So a lot of what we see in the nutrition industry and the supplement industry is a lot of noise and a lot of decision fatigue. So people are really going to your stores to look for what it is that you recommend as their trusted advisor. So creating high converting bundles is something that I really like to hit home with in the beginning of creating your store. And how do you want to think about a bundle? So a bundle is if someone were to walk into your store and they were to see three products that are grouped together for, say, bloating, digestion, sleep. And you want to think when you're naming these bundles of the end result that they're going to get. We always talk about in marketing, nobody cares about the plane ride. They just want to know that they're sitting on the beach in Hawaii with an umbrella and their drink at the end. So what are the results that you're going to get? Now, when you're naming these bundles, you do need to be careful to not say treat, cure, and prevent, but you can say things like sleep better bundle or beauty rest bundle. These kinds of things are really good at converting people. And we'll talk about how and when you should land somebody there. But if you have not created your bundles, I highly recommend that you do that. One of the ways that you can do it the easiest is by going into your back office. You'll see a live chat button on the bottom right. That's our handy chat bot named George. And as you go in there, if you just type in bundles, a bundle request form will populate. So you'll fill in all of the details, give us the name that you would like the bundle to be, and then you can put multiple brands into that bundle. So you could have things like a test. So you could have a food inflammation test, a probiotic. You could have a detox. So this could be a reset bundle. And what you've created is something that's very easy for people to click buy all now and convert. And I'll talk about a few different ways to get you there. The other things you can do on these bundles are things like adding videos and adding text and even changing your bundle colors. So we have all of this in your live chat bot. If you haven't changed your bundle colors to match your branding yet, please go in and do that. So I did want to show you a really nice example of a bundle that's pretty robust. So as we click over here, this actually takes us into the bundle. And as you can see, there's quite a few products in here. So this is a 7-item bundle. Generally speaking, we recommend 3 to 5, but this person does a phenomenal job of educating through content and educating through videos. So this bundle does convert really well because it has a strong call to action. Now, as you scroll down, you're going to see that we've got descriptions of what each product does, and we even have a beautiful video hosted. So you can do all of this in your chatbot in your back office, and you can create your bundles there. Now, as we navigate back over to the homepage, I'll just show you a little bit more of these bundles. So as you can see, these colors go ahead and match. So please go ahead if you haven't done that and create a bundle. And I just wanted to point out one thing over here. So this asterisk is a really interesting thing. So there's a really great study that comes out of China actually, and it was showing that there was a 20 to 30% adoption in people ordering items that have an asterisk next to it. There doesn't need to be a comment, there doesn't need to be anything, but it actually increases adoption. So that's your step number one for really getting into your back office and using the software that we've created for you. Now, as we get back over here, oops, let's see if I can go back. I did want to talk about adding reviews, adding keywords to your actual products. So even if you don't have a private label, you can go ahead and add a video to a product that you know, love, and trust. And you can also very easily go ahead and add a review and keywords. So we realized that a lot of you use different products for different things. So I'm just going to show you an example. As you go into your back office here, you're going to navigate to this products tab. Now from this products tab, you'll be able to toggle between these two sections, one product search and one what is on your store. You can quickly add a product to your store by clicking add to my store, and it will be live and shoppable first thing in the morning. But we have this beautiful feature over here that is a settings icon, or you can go ahead and write a review. So you can say things like, I love this product because it's a lightweight moisturizer that doesn't make you break out. You can also use quotes from patients that you've had in the past. That's a really nice way for you to get around claims. And then you can go ahead and add keyword searches. So keywords are things that are one word, you can't use spaces, and you can add multiple comments in between. So you could do acne, sun, detox. And then as you click submit, this will be searchable on the front of your store. The other thing you can do right here is choose featured or recommended. And this will make this scroll on the marketing homepage, your carousel at the top. So that's a really nice feature for you all to take advantage of. I would go in there and comment on at least the top 10, if not all of the products that are in your bundles, and add keywords for things that you might know. We realize that, someone might use a certain product for a different ailment. So it's something that, depending on the language that you use in your clinic, you can really take advantage of. All right, let's go back over here. And Courtney, please let me know if we have any questions as we go through. So the other thing that I wanted to touch upon here is really looking at your marketing homepage. So we have that beautiful feature where you can edit your marketing homepage. You can go ahead and do that directly from up here. We have some nice videos that we can share with you. So managing your marketing homepage, you're going to click there and you're going to be able to edit your callouts. You're going to be able to turn your bundles on and off. You can hyperlink all of your images. So it's a really important thing for you to change that out. We recommend once a month, and we've given quite a few tutorials on Canva, which are really wonderful. It's a really wonderful free software for you to use. We also have some great references for designers if you want to get a little bit more advanced. Okay, so what is actually working? We're really talking about marketing that moves the needle. Now I want you to pick a platform that you know, love, and that you actually want to do, because what works is when you actually are consistent with something. So we always say put the blinders on and become an expert in one thing that you like to do. So maybe it's TikTok, maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's Facebook, maybe it's none of those things. Facebook groups do convert really well as well. So perhaps you just have a private Facebook group that you work on getting a lot of people into. It's invite only and people know, love, and trust you there. So you can really start talking about certain things and content, and you want to educate. We always say tasty content. I've referenced that a few times. And the way that you want to think about that is somebody would want to organically share it. Someone would go, oh my gosh, they gave me so much information for free. I can only imagine what it would be like to work with them. Other things that really convert well are video courses, infographics, podcasts, newsletters, web conferencing, or webinars. Of course, we've seen a little bit of Zoom fatigue, but going live on Facebook or Instagram can really get you around that. Ebooks, and of course, your website. Having a strong web presence is very, very important. Being genuine, and then even getting back to the basics. So QR codes, they used to be a thing and then they disappeared, and then COVID hit and now they're a thing again. And we've seen them really help a lot of practitioners convert in a very basic way. So if you have an in-office practice where people are actually coming in quite a bit, just having a basic display at the front of the store with a QR code that says, please shop our supplements, and having them be able to go there is a huge tool. Also, having it on your business cards. I always say, how many people just ask you for supplement recommendations? They don't necessarily have the time or the desire to work with somebody one-on-one, or perhaps even the money, but they really do just want to know what to take. There is a lot of noise in the industry. So you even having a QR code on your business card that you hand out that says shop my supplements, curated, recommended by me. You might want to give a little bit of an ethos of why you've picked your supplements. So maybe it's eco-thoughtful, maybe it's toxin-free, maybe it's that it's direct from the manufacturer, never counterfeit. So really calling out those reasons that you've curated that store and using that QR code to be very basic in how you drive people there. That can be wonderful. And again, getting good at one platform. So pick what you're good at and what you like. Some people love to write. And a lot of people go, oh my gosh, blogging, it might be so much content and it might be constant. That's not really true. You can pick 5 items of content. You can even pick one blog post that converts for you over and over and over again. We've seen this time and time again where we've got one very strategically written, very shared blog content that actually converts multiple times. And you can break it out into multiple things. You can pull quotes from that blog and you can put it on your Instagram. You can make a different video for each section. So you can take that one subject and break it down into a month's or 2 months or maybe even 6 months worth of content. So you don't need to feel like you constantly need to be creating this content. You need to pick something that sells and use it over and over again. So pick what you're good at, pick what fits into your day-to-day life. If you hate being on video, I highly recommend avoiding it and really getting more into the writing side of things. If you love being on video, use that. It converts very, very well. And pick where your audience is that will follow you. So we do know that there's certain demographics across different platforms. TikTok is, of course, I think the youngest demographic at this point. Instagram, you've got your Gen X and your Gen Z, probably more your Gen X, and then Facebook is an older audience. So if you're looking for menopausal women, you might not want to go to TikTok. Now you might make a big movement on TikTok because it is new. So I'm not saying don't try that, because I have seen some people do really, really well on it, but the majority of your audience is going to be on Facebook. Again, if you're looking for young women as part of your audience, you're going to probably want to hang out a little bit more on Instagram or Facebook. If you're looking for people who are really, I'll use an example that we have, anti-vaccine. We have a lot of doctors who really have that ethos. They're hanging out on things like Telegram, Cloud Hub. So really using the platform of where your audience is that you're trying to speak to. Okay. And then next, I wanted to talk about the levels of intimacy online. So I talk about this quite a bit, and it really is going to lead into the next subject, which is buy now links, product detail pages, or bundles. So this is about how you get somebody to your site and where you actually choose to land them. So there's a lot of really interesting content that you can read about this, but in the most basic way, I want you to think about it is someone ready to go home with you? So if you were to meet somebody at a bar and have a nice conversation with them, and you just sat down and said, hey, you should buy this from me, or you should come home with me, they'd probably be like, no. They want to know that you're invested in them. They want to know that you've taken the time to really listen to their concerns. They want to know that you're actually an expert. So there's a conversation that goes on that breaks down these levels of intimacy, and there's what's considered 9. But in a very basic way, if someone has just talked to you and you've taken, 30 minutes and you've really listened to their concerns and you're customizing a protocol, writing a cart is a wonderful way to get them to convert. But if you're trying to convert them online, you want to think about more, how educated have I made them? So if you've really just done a quick Instagram post that's all text and it's just very short, or even just a Facebook post, and they've had very little education about the product that you're trying to sell, you probably want to land them on a product detail page. So that's where they can see the image, that's where they can learn more about the ingredients, that's where they can see a video that maybe you've posted about that specific product, or a bundle. Now, if you've really educated and they've had roughly 7 touches from you, you want to land them on what's called a buy now link. So they trust you, they're ready to buy from you, they've been highly educated, maybe they're in a group that you have. Those buy now links can then become very, very powerful. So this is a great example. We've got ADHD Thrive Institute. Now, this is a very basic blog post, but this company educates. Every Friday, they send out emails. They send out emails twice a week. So they're not always salesy. They're really talking about recipes. They're really giving away a lot of high value content for free. So what they've done here is create a very short blog post, and it goes to their holiday detox bundle. So as you click that, it goes directly into a buy now link. Now, these can also be very powerful for you as you go ahead and use these in things like Instagram. So when you've had a video and you've educated very heavily, it's appropriate to use a buy now link. It might not be appropriate to do that if you've just talked to somebody very, very briefly. Oops, let's go back over here. So at the very basic level, just link people to your marketing homepage. If you feel overwhelmed by those levels of intimacy, you can probably in your gut know where you should land them. You should probably be able to tell, okay, they might need a little bit more information. They might need to see me in a video a little bit more, or they're probably ready to buy. But at the most basic level, you can drive them to your marketing homepage where you can change out these images. Now, we do have some content on how to change or create images that are highly converting. High converting images are very important. You want them to be designed well. Women with brunette hair actually sell better. If you want somebody to take a call to action, using eyeballs to actually have them read a text can be very powerful. So as you can see right here, this woman is pointing to this text, and you've got a shop now button. So you have this call to action that's jumping out. And it's very, these images are very simple. There's not a lot of text imagery. They say a picture says 1,000 words. So use that imagery, and working with a designer can be a wonderful thing for you all to do. So at the very basic level, link them to your marketing homepage. And then linking, again, I just wanted to talk to one high converting blog post in multiple places to get organic shares. Now you can also do this with video content. You can do this with email content. Let's just take a blog post, and I would love to hear in the chat of anyone who's written a blog post recently and the subject that you've used. But let's talk about maybe just a sleep post. So you can break sleep into many different categories. You can say, okay, are you not falling asleep? Are you not staying asleep? What areas of your life is sleep actually affecting? Weight loss? Have you actually blacked out your curtains? So there's a lot of different ways that you can break these different subjects, so 5 subjects in a blog post, into multiple posts, and really just use that as a niche. And you can go ahead and use that as a niche for 1 month, 3 months. So with you using that for a niche for 1 month, which is actually quite short, you could go ahead with having 12 blog posts for the whole entire year. I would actually recommend spreading out something like that, so a subject, into 3 to 4 months. So you can get away with 3 blog posts a year or 4 blog posts a year. So don't feel overwhelmed by the amount of content that you need to create. And speak conversationally. You know, there are some places that you can hire ghostwriters if you're not a good blogger, but you can really just speak from your heart and speak genuinely. People like you to be 100% authentic online. So when you've created your blog post or your video or your email content or even your QR code, you may then want to create a buy now link. So this is when you're landing them directly in a preloaded shopping cart. It's very powerful, and we see it convert very, very well, especially from email, that people are feeling educated and not sold to all of the time. So we'll drop a little thing here. You can also go into your live chat, but it's very simple for you to create a buy now link. So you take your store URL, you just copy it, and then you add this little text at the end. So it'll be /sales/buy now /SKU equals. And then you're going to insert your SKU. And it's quite easy for you to find your SKU on the front of your store. So it'll be right next to the product catalog. So you'll see the SKU number right here. You can also go ahead and find that on the front of your store as well. And if you wanted to create this for, say, a bundle, maybe it's even a bundle that you don't have created on your store, because we have a 4-day turnaround on bundle creation, but you feel inspired and you just want to make a post tomorrow about air quality and cleaning your house better, but you don't have a bundle for that. All you need to do is create a SKU, insert your SKU number, comma, and then insert the next SKU number. And that can create a buy now link for multiple products. Now, creating a QR code, depending on the technology that you have, if you have an iPhone 13, I think it does it automatically. If you want to do it free, you just type in free QR code creation. You just put that link in and it will generate a QR code for you that you can print or you can share. This is a really nice way for you to convert if you're teaching online as well. So even in a webinar, you could drop a link directly into the chat, but you could also just have a QR code right on the screen, or if you're presenting in person. I know everyone's a little bit different with how they're doing with that right now, but I used to teach large corporate classes, and there was no way for me to monetize these 25, 30, sometimes even 150 people that I had in these seminars. And if I had had a store at the time, which it wasn't invented just then, I would have been able to have a QR code that someone could scan and hear about all of the things that I was talking about, the non-toxic cleaning supplies, the detoxes, etc. So really use that and use those buy now links. And again, just making it very basic. We've talked about some high level things with social media here. Not everyone does social media and not everyone needs to. We can use these QR codes in really strategic ways. So even just having a basic health questionnaire as someone comes in, we have some very busy chiropractic practices here that go ahead and they see 20, 30 people, maybe even 75 people in an hour. So they're not sitting down and they're not talking to people about their health, but they've created a basic health questionnaire that says, do you get enough greens? Do you take a daily D supplement? Are you taking a daily multivitamin? And if the answer to any of those is no, it opens a little bit of a conversation. The doctor can then quickly score them on the back of the card. And there's a QR code that says, shop our supplements. They're curated. They come directly from the manufacturer. You can use your FSA, HSA card, and it converts very, very well. We have large practices like the Mayo Clinic. They used to be in a situation where they'd be say, you should get a fish oil. And then a month later, they'd have someone come back who's bought a fish oil from Costco, and they realize it's completely contaminated with heavy metals and made their whole entire system work more poorly than it was supposed to. So now they can say, here, shop our store. Here's our QR code. Everything is vetted by us. So there are companies that we know, love, and trust. So really just getting back to the basics can be a huge thing for you as well. So thank you, everyone. That's really what I wanted to go through. Please go ahead and create your bundles. I'm just going to come back into here and show you where you can find Handy Dandy George, and I hope everyone can see this. So you've got this live chat bot right here. Go ahead and enter your email, and then you'll be prompted with a lot of different options. You can even get into marketing here. So we do our Pep program. So let me just give you an example. If you guys are overwhelmed by this, please don't be. We run a monthly Pep program, which means patient engagement. We give you the subject to actually talk about. So for example, we've got Heart Health Month coming up for February. Of course, you've got Valentine's Day. So some really good content pieces for you to talk about. March goes into men's health. We create this content for you. You can upload your list, your email list, and we'll email them on your behalf. Or you can just opt in and take those ideas and that content and make it your own. Personalized marketing does work the best. So as you can see here, you've got marketing, bundles, custom order status, something else, coupon codes. So go ahead and really use that back office. And if you'd like to do a strategy call with me, please let me know. I'd be happy to look at your business, see what you've got going on, and help you reach your goals. So any questions, Courtney? I don't see any coming in right now.
No, I don't see any questions. But just to reiterate, do you mind just going back and going over when to use the links? It was educate first. And then if you're using an education piece, maybe can you dive into that just a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. So should we take a blog post for an example and an email? So email is probably, it's getting timed out a little bit, but if you've had a regular cadence of educating somebody, then you can use that buy now link, because that email is really designed to be, hey, here's this product, it's a special, and they're getting regular emails from you and they feel like you've given them a lot of content already. So they feel like they know, love, and trust you. So then I would think it is appropriate to use a buy now link. They know, love, and trust you. Now, if you're just on Facebook, they've never ever seen you before. You've put a blog post out there. They have no background of credibility of you whatsoever. They're probably going to need a little bit more education. So at that point, I would suggest landing them on a product detail page, and hopefully a product detail page where you've actually given them a video so they can see you, they can hear you talking. If you're not comfortable with a video, go ahead and add those comments and those custom reviews. So edification is really, really important. So think about, how much have I actually interacted with this person? And would they, if I was at a bar, would they be ready to jump in my car, or would they still go, hey, I need to trust you? That's really, it's a kind of a crass way of putting it, but it is a funny little way for you to think about it.
Right. Just making that customer more comfortable and all that. Yeah, I totally get that. That's really important. So that makes it super important for people to, I really just want to stress how customized you can make your store. And some people don't necessarily know that, right? Like there's just so many things you can do. If you have that review, like Chelsea went over, um, you know, if you put a review on your product, for instance, and then you link people to that product, and then maybe you've entered in some videos or some content there as well that's personalized from you and customized. Imagine what an experience they'll have on that page, how comfortable they're going to feel when they see your face, your video, and they also see your review and you're encouraging this product. So I think that that's a huge thing, something that not a lot of other platforms offer that we do. So just want to stress that that is an option you have right now in your back office to go into your catalog and edit. So if you need a review on that or anything like that, let us know. Shannon, to create a buy now button that's in the chat, and Chelsea just addressed that. So it's in our chat bot. Our little friend George, we call him, he can help you with that on our back office. So feel free to, Chelsea kind of just showed us that, but just sign in to your back office. There's a little kind of circle on the bottom right, and you can click on that, give them your email, and then he'll kind of give you some options. You can access most of our forms that way. So like not only bundles, how to do buy now links, that sort of thing. But there's many other forms and things you can do. You can also check on a customer order that way. He can help you with that. So definitely a good resource for you there.
Yeah, and I just threw the link in there. It could be a little hard to remember, but George has it for you. So all you do is you go to your store, the front of your store, you copy your URL. So it would be, for example, mine is withchelsea.gethealthy.store. Some of you have custom domains, so it might look different. And then you insert this little code at the end, and then you put the SKU in. So quite easy there. And I just wanted to reiterate what you said, Courtney. Generally speaking, it takes people 7 times to convert. So that's a nice way for you to think about your conversion with a buy now link as well. Like, have they had 7 opportunities to see me, or is this them getting fresh eyes on me? And if they have had just maybe 1 time to see you, you can skip a few levels of intimacy if someone has recommended you. So if it's in a group post, for example, and someone has shared you and said, hey, this is my nutritionist, she's absolutely amazing, she's changed my life, you've got that edification there. So you've skipped a few levels of intimacy. But if you're cold talking to them, you really want to just go ahead and educate a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we'll dive into that a little bit more. And one thing I will touch upon too with buy now links is your branding. So when you set up your store, you get an opportunity to put your logo in, your colors in. You get an opportunity, as I said, to change your bundle color to match your branding. So one of the things that is important online is to make people feel consistent and have a nice presence. So it is worth you spending a little bit of money to work with a designer. 99 Designs is a great place to get a brand kit. And what that means is that you have the same text, the same fonts, the same colors everywhere that you're touching someone. So they recognize that it's you, and it creates that little bit more consistent touch as well. 99 Designs is a phenomenal program to use, or Upwork. I think 99 Designs has a bunch of people compete for you, so you can actually pick something that you like, and colors can say a lot. Colors can set moods, so it's worth you having something very consistent. One thing that's really nice with our stores is that they can be branded to match your website. And that's a huge thing. You never want someone to leave a blog post or your website and feel like they're all of a sudden somewhere else. It shocks them and it takes them out of that buying experience. So making sure they feel like they're still in the same realm. So don't go from using red to using a bright blue or pink. You want to keep them in that same color scheme and keep them having that same feel. Perfect. Any questions from anybody? No.
I think that's it. Yeah. Thank you so much, Chelsea. And if you guys do have questions, please feel free to ask us. Again, you can kind of go in your back office and ask George if you do have questions also. And, if you have a question that he can't answer, then you will be connected with someone via chat in that feature. So don't hesitate to use that. Don't hesitate to reach out to our, and Chelsea just dropped her meeting link there. Reach out to Chelsea, and we are here for you. So we have another session next week. We'll kind of be wrapping up all of the concepts that we learned in the Go Green series. And we will be discussing sort of some other useful tips and throwing those in there as well. But otherwise, thank you, Chelsea, and I hope everyone has a great rest of their day.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Courtney.